Hello and welcome back to Hollowponds solo sagas. Now today we're going to do another one of the how-to discussing the genre of solo games videos that I've been doing on a monthly basis, and this one we're going to approach some of the things that were mentioned by other people around, and I mentioned it as well in some of the previous videos, around prep. Prep is play, but also just the more generalized hobbying aspect of solo role-playing. So yeah, hobbying. The process of hobbying as part of solo roleplay can be quite a major part of the actual gameplay, depending on how you approach the game. So the majority of the games that I play on this channel, I do lots of theatre of the mind. And so in theatre of the mind, there is less of the hobbying aspect, but I'll go through some of the aspects at the tail end for theatre of the mind. But more up front, say in the Cyberpunk video that you can go and see, I use miniatures, and there's also miniatures being used at particularly the end of the first series of Twilight 2000. We use miniatures, and miniatures are part of the hobbying aspect that you can use in solo role-playing. And so what I thought I would do is, using my vague notes and just talking, I don't know how long this will go, but I'm going to witter, in around the hobbying aspect. I don't know if this is going to help anyone. Really, this is more me discussing what my concept of hobbying is and the other things that I do as part of solo role-playing beyond what you see. And giving you the opportunity in the comments below to discuss what you do. So kind of like I'll show you mine, you can show me yours type thing. Like you've seen a lot of it, and I'll be showing. So, but it's a good aspect for us we can discuss that prep is play aspect. So one of the things with the miniatures, as you can see, I'll probably cut in some footage from either the miniatures I did in the Cyberpunk or some of the stuff that I've done for Twilight 2000. Is that I have over the years painted quite a lot of miniatures. I started painting the Warhammer ones. This was, of course, beginning of COVID, because I didn't bother before that point. I just painted normal miniatures, but I sold all those this weekend, so I can't show those. But we've got the Cyberpunk miniatures. So there's painting. So we've got various things about the miniatures and creating miniatures, and there's also terrain. You've got a painting of the miniatures, which is an aspect of hobbying. If you've got a character and you want them to look a certain way, then there's painting the miniature in a certain way. And you can spend many hours painting miniatures, and I have done, without actually getting to the play part yet. And it's a very valid part of the hobby of solo role-playing, or any role-playing, is you can paint miniatures. We've also got kit bashing miniatures, which can be quite fun, making your own. So there might be something that's similar. So I was really looking for something. I went to the Mother of All Battles, which is in Sylvania in Australia, which is where at the Bring and Buy I sold the miniatures. But I was trying to, Mandy and I were trying to look for a figure that would represent Miriam from the Cyberpunk campaign. Couldn't find anything. So then I was thinking, well, could we kit bash something within that aspect? So there's kit bashing miniatures, or of course, I've only got an FDM printer. But if you have a resin printer, you can print and do printing, which is the 3D printing, which is a whole hobby all in and of itself, particularly resin printing. And then there's printing of miniatures, which is just in the miniatures. But printing, particularly with the FDM printer, printing terrain is awesome. So some of the terrain, which I'll show now, which would be from the skirmish game Majestic 13. Some of this terrain worked really nicely, and you can also see from the Twilight 2000, the end of Series 1, there's the church and various things. So those were just FDM printed and then painted, and I really love those. I'm quite proud. I'm going to have to sell those too soon. And so, but painting those as a vehicle towards using solo role playing as a vehicle, or solo gaming as a vehicle towards the creative pursuit of painting and being proud of that end result of painting, it's fully fine, it's fully justifiable. Someone posted about Geek Gamer saying all play is play. So I think that's what you said it was. All play is play. So prep is play. All aspects, painting the miniatures, printing them, trying to source. Even so for a little bit when I was going insane with the FDM printer, I have lots of terrain that I've printed. I collected lots of STLs. That you can constitute as part of it, trying to print things, and you can then print things for other people, but it's still part of your solo role-playing pursuit. You want to set at a table to make it look good for your imagination, to tell the story that you're trying to tell in the game that you're playing, so you set up a nice table. The other part of that would then be maps. So not only are you setting the table, but there's maps. Now, mapping is something I'm not so far into, mainly because my own drawing skills are in a certain restricted amount, and the maps, when I draw maps, I'm never that happy with. But we have various different games, and so creating a map, not just a map to actually do a battle on, such as the map that is in the Cyberpunk game. I can't show that. I'll show a scene of it. That I sourced from Loki Maps. I told the story in there. Tried to get the physical maps, but they won't be delivered. So instead, I used a monitor and then plugged in my spare laptop. And instead, we just use that map instead. So you can do mapping, which is just trying to find good maps that you like. But there's also, I remember back, I ran a Dungeons and Dragons campaign using a VTT tool. But in the early days, because this was years ago, I made maps using a cartographer tool. I can't remember what the tool was called, but I would make the battle maps using a cartographer tool, using little component bits, putting them together, and that was quite cool. I really enjoyed that, and everyone enjoyed the maps, and they were bespoke and they're special and it feels good. But there's those maps. But there's also hex crawl maps. So we've got a variety of solo games. So we've got 5 Leagues from the Borderlands, which is more a skirmishy game. But one of the key components of that is that you are building your map as you go, and you draw the map. I think it was Guerrilla Games did 5 Leagues from the Borderlands, and his map was awesome. I'll see if I can find the link to that to promote him, because that map was beautiful. He is definitely an artist, and that is a lovely map. I can't do maps like that. But there's also a sandbox generator. If you used a sandbox generator, which I spoke about in one of these videos previously, you can then draw little hex maps. I got my youngest, Eve. She did the map when she and I played together using sandbox generator and Scarlet Heroes, GM list, but co-op. And she drew the map and really enjoyed it. Just drawing the map as you go out hex. We've also got Broken Shores with Blackheath games. That when you grow out, and you can see me play that, which I'm just gesticulating to over there. You'll see me play that. That you grow the map as you go out. And possibly, and I haven't played it yet, but he sent me a PDF for it and says he's going to send the physical book for Across 1,000 Dead Worlds. I'm going to try and play that because it looks brilliant. That might have the same aspect. So you grow your map, and so part of that prep, part of that extended hobbying part can be just spending way longer than you need to drawing a map because you like it and it gives you pleasure. And I don't mean any of these things to basically, I am now giving you permission to go and have fun, but you need to give yourself permission to do these things. That you can constitute that this is part of the game, and you give yourself permission to follow these time sinks, because it brings you pleasure, and it's taking that aspect of your mental health and taking that aspect of your creativity. Painting is very therapeutic. Drawing, particularly the maps and that repetitiveness, is very therapeutic. And also, like, I would say printing, as in printing, those 3D printing, but I don't find that therapeutic at all. I find that very demanding, trying to work out and get those prints to print properly. So probably not that. But then we will move on to other aspects of the solo gaming, such as the things that surround it. Reading, just reading. Is part of the prep of play. You can read the rules. There, within nearly all of the rule books, you will find stories. The Cyberpunk Red book is full of stories and prose and background. I still haven't finished reading it, but it's awesome to read. I'm reading, and I will be also playing, because I always say I kickstarted, but I don't mean I did the kickstart. I mean I gave them money. With Free League for Electric State, so it's there, it's sitting there on the table in front of me. I'm going to play a journey on Electric State. Electric State is full of some awesome prose. The rule book of roles is thin, but if you fill in everything else, there's loads of stuff. It's really good background, nice prose. Reading, it's part of the prep. You just sit there and you read. It's a pastime that has been passed down from the years, since the printing press was developed. But just reading the stuff is part of your play. It's prep, it's part of the play. It's the same thing as, because we're playing Cyberpunk at the moment on the channel, whenever I do the washing up or I'm doing the cooking, I'm listening to, because I think I mentioned it, that re-listening to the stories, the Cyberpunk stories. So I've got various different ones, and I'm listening to them as I go through, and it gives that sort of background, and it's part of the prep, it's part of the involvement. Now, another thing, talking about Cyberpunk again, I forgot how joyous it is to create a character with those intertwined, particularly a small cadre of characters, with interweaving stories using life path systems, character generation, and I'd forgotten how much that is a pastime and people do, because I quite enjoyed it. I could have created loads. I sat there for hours doing it. Mandy kept coming in and out and saying, "Are you still doing that?" And I was really enjoying myself creating the characters, then making the rolls on the tables. It's the same thing as, and if you enjoy it, I've never been a min-maxer, but if you enjoy min-maxing, there's the whole of the playing, particularly with old school D&D. I've not really played 5th edition. I don't know whether 5th edition is min-maxable, but definitely 3rd and 4th was a min-maxer's pleasure dome. If you like min-maxing, then there's playing those things, trying to work out the intricate details of how you can balance one thing against another and get the maximum power out of your character. Character generation. If you like doing it, do it. It's fine. Create a story about the character, create a style. But if you like that aspect, which is the min-maxing, that's lovely. And we've got, the last part, it's not really prep. It's not really hobbying, but I think we all do this one, and we just don't really admit to ourselves or others what we're doing. We collect games. My pool of PDF games that I have is scary. The ones on the shelf are scary. If I was to play all of them, I'd run out. Then they release new ones, and I buy new ones. Collecting games, and collecting rules. And just reading them through, that can be fine. You can just do that. You can just spend an afternoon. I could easily spend an afternoon going through my folders of PDFs and going, oh yeah, I forgot I had that, and reading that. I did it recently with, because I was thinking about running Ghostbusters, which I still haven't done, but I still would like to. And I read the whole of it, like all of the adventures I read through that I've got PDFs of, all of the rule sets. I read them all, and that was great. And you don't even notice the clock ticking by. And then you really, the bit that I think is the pinnacle for any of these things is when you have spent some time doing it, and you look at your watch, and you go, oh no, I've really just spent 2 hours reading Ghostbusters PDFs. Oh God, there's other stuff I'm supposed to do. But what it means is you've just taken yourself out of the problem zone for a while, and you've got a bit of pleasure out of it. And strictly speaking, you don't have to feel bad that you weren't playing. You don't have to feel bad that you weren't creating. You don't have to feel bad about anything. You just have to enjoy the moment that you're in. And I think that's probably, and I didn't have any notes about this, but really I think that's the main thing to take away from Prep is Play, is enjoy the moment you're in. If you're enjoying the thing that you're doing, then allow yourself to have that and enjoy the moment you're in. I don't mean to sound like I'm giving you permission in a very sort of like guru, woke, weird way. You have permission to enjoy what you're doing, but enjoy the moment you're in and enjoy the creativity that you express, be that in consuming or creating. I would advise creating is better for your mental health, but if you need some time just to absorb some stuff, then take that time and absorb it. It then all gets built up into the background, and then you can let that out when you play. And I think that's all I've got. Hopefully I've been able to show stuff when I get to the edit, and I've shown all these. But there's also, if you produce videos like this, part of the play is also the editing. It's the bit that I don't always like, but I do because I forget what I've said, and I watch myself back and I stand laughing because I think, did I really say that on film? And that could be part you enjoy as well if you do this. And if you do, put your links to your stuff down into the comments and we can go and check you out. That's it really. Not a very long one, but thank you so much for your time. If you are a subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, please do consider subscribing. I don't just do these, I also do the actual play that you can watch play. And as someone commented recently, when I play, nothing scripted, everything is done, and it's like this. That's my notes, just scrawled notes. I don't script any of this stuff. I make stuff up on the plot spot and I create on the fly in front of you, and that's mainly what I do. We also have the Adventurers Guild. Thank you so much to the Adventurers Guild for your support and for joining the membership. It really does matter, and that adds and allows things to be done to move forward. I don't know how many more of these I can do. I don't know what other sort of topics. What sort of topics would you like me to talk about? Chuck some stuff down in the comments and I'll see if I can produce them. Otherwise, I've said previously that I will never do reviews, but I've now started playing. I've got definitely, like, there's a year's worth of backlog of stuff that you can see me doing. And so I could possibly give you some comments and some of my thoughts on some of the games that I've played and some of the rule sets and some of the mechanics and how I think they work or don't think in a review type way. I can attempt to do that. It'll be a bit sprawly because that's just the way it rolls. But tell me what you'd like me to do next and move forward. I've got a couple of more topics like this to do, and beyond that I'll then run out for these monthly things. I'll shut up now. Have a good game. See ya.